Nalla ya Already been said, but just to point out a few things. I was worried when I heard the Honorable Makali Mulu talk about contributions by government for a year to take care of former members of parliament on their medical expenses. And I was wondering where he found that in the bill, but he just informed me it was just something he was saying that we should add on. And maybe I thought I should start from there. One, Honorable Speaker, just to inform the House that part of, without anticipating debate, Honorable Speaker, with your indulgence, part of the laws that are before this House due for second reading is a tax procedures bill that has a provision that is making post-retirement medical contributions of up to 20,000 shillings, down from 10,000 shillings, tax deductible. That means when you are serving as a member of parliament or any Kenyan who is in employment today, if you want to contribute to your post-retirement medical scheme, you are allowed to contribute up to 20,000 shillings per month. That's a total of 240,000 shillings a year, tax-free, without being taxed. And it becomes a tax-deductible expense. Therefore, that is to encourage us that when we are in active service, let us contribute to post-retirement medical schemes because they will come in handy. We do not need to ever go back to public coffers to pay for people who are in retirement. And I know Honorable Makali Mulu, being in the same profession with me, is getting it from the private sector, although he worked in the public sector, that in the private sector there are many companies that pay for their staff a post-retirement medical cover for at least a year for you to get naturalized to the world out there. But it's different for us as public officers because this money will have to be paid by taxpayers, and therefore I just want to say I would not have agreed to that if it were in the bill, but when I perused through the bill, I discovered it's not there. And it's good to make that clear so that people out there do not misconstrue the intentions of this bill. Because when the public listens to anything they hear parliamentary, especially now when you talk about parliamentary pension scheme, they imagine it is more money that you are contributing, or members of parliament are getting more money. I was just checking my last pay slip, Honorable Speaker, and discovered every single month I contribute 59,328.50 cents to the parliamentary pension scheme. And this is money that is deducted from my salary over and above the NSSF contributions. Because again, there's a misconception that we pass laws here that don't affect us. But we pass laws that also affect us because we know better. We know beyond the term of active service, you will need it to be taken care of, Honorable Speaker. Today, millions of our elderly people above the age of 65 are under cash transfer programs, including former members of parliament. And the Honorable Undo has said, there are those that we see around here. But there are many others who are benefiting from the 2,500 shillings of the cash transfer program. But if they had a good pension scheme, they don't need to go back to public coffers to get cash transfer programs. And that is the essence even of NSSF, enhancing contributions. Because why we are having a society where everybody is dependent on public coffers is because you worked for 30 years, contributing 200 shillings a month, at the end of your 30 years of service, you have only saved 144,000 shillings. If you are given that money at the end of your term, active service, at the age of 60 or 55, within a few months, 144,000, you have wiped it out, or you are getting pension of about 2,000-3,000 shillings that cannot even take care of your medical expenses. Therefore, just for the record, Honorable Speaker, that this bill is coming at a very good time. And two, to tell the public, especially our fourth estate, because you will see that what they will report tomorrow in newspapers, and MPs increase their pensions, MPs increase their pay. This is money we are contributing from what we are already being paid. Two, Honorable Speaker, this bill aligns, as the mover said, with the 2010 Constitution, especially in roping in the Senate, those issues you've heard about widows and widowers. I don't know whether it is the law that never envisaged that there will be widowers, or never envisaged members of parliament being female. I don't know whether it also envisaged whether there will be members of parliament who will be single ladies who are not married, or who have divorced or separated from their husbands. And it's also good to encourage them, such men and women who have divorced or separated from their husbands, to designate somebody. And I am not naming names, but I am sure there is somebody who is listening to me. You can designate even a colleague to take care of your children when you are not there. But also to encourage all of us to continue contributing. Honorable Speaker, the mover also did touch on the question of this making the pension, our pension scheme, elective after you serve your first term. And it's good for those of us who are serving our first term to know, you get your gratuity at the end of 5 years. If you do not make it to come back for a second term, that is all you get, and you don't benefit from a pension. If you ever come back, as a mover said, you can elect to contribute the gratuity that you are paid back and continue saving for your pension, so that after your second term, you continue to benefit from pension. This gratuity is very enticing, Honorable Speaker, but those who have left this house will tell you, within a few months, because you choose to continue living the way you are living as a member of parliament, within a few weeks, it is gone. And those members are left very desolate. Now we have an opportunity, and I would encourage even those who lose elections, please don't take up your gratuity if you intend to come back. Keep it with the pension scheme, and I liked something that the Honorable Konga has shared with me here, that probably, and I would encourage the move of this motion, this bill, we need to move this pension, the parliamentary pension scheme, we move an amendment to keep it in parliament, so that the administration of the parliamentary pension scheme is administered in parliament by the Parliamentary Service Commission. And Honorable Chepkonga is a former commissioner of the Parliamentary Service Commission. He can guide, and I would encourage him to bring amendments to make sure that this pension scheme is administered by the Parliamentary Service Commission, because they will relate better to the struggles and the needs of members of parliament than those in the National Treasury. When you live and you are old and elderly, you will find your children now are the ones in the National Treasury. Honorable Kwenya, they will not care who you are. Some will be your grandchildren. They will just be asking this old mzee, and they don't know how much you struggle to improve the lot of the people of Kinangop, and Kenyans at large, including them. But members of parliament who will be in this house, serving in the Parliamentary Service Commission, will be able to relate better with the struggles of a member of parliament. I therefore encourage the Honorable Chepkonga to liaise with the Honorable Makali Mulu to have the administration of this pension being administered by the Parliamentary Service Commission, not the executive in the National Treasury. Because you will see the kind of distaste that even those in the executive have for former members of parliament. And those who pursue their pensions with the National Treasury will bear me witness as those who are former members of parliament. Lastly, Honorable Speaker, for young parliamentarians, increasingly, both in this house and in the other house in the Senate, younger members of parliament are being elected. The Honorable Toto, I think, was elected at 20-something, 24. Meaning even if she served for 3 terms, she will still be below 45 years. But she would be eligible to pension, and after 3 terms, she would have to wait for another 6 years to access her pension. Now, we are creating a provision where the Honorable Toto, after serving her 3 terms, can still access her pension below the age of 45, Honorable Speaker, which is a good thing because, as Honorable Makali Mulu said, you may fall ill or something may happen. You may even be faced with an accident that incapacitates you and you are not able to work, but you have pension that is being kept somewhere by an administrator of a pension scheme, and you cannot access it until you get to the age of 45. You may even die before getting 45, and you leave your money being enjoyed by others, Honorable Speaker. And it's good, Honorable Speaker, to remind all of us. In conclusion, Honorable Speaker, and I know many members of Parliament are usually threatened by, especially around this time, you'll be told, and allow me to say it in Swahili, utatupata 2027. Utaenda nyumbani 2027. Yet you go home every day. I don't know if there's a member of Parliament who doesn't go home every day. You go home every day. So nobody should threaten you that you will go home, because you go to your home. The question you should ask yourself when you are here, the day you are not serving as a member of Parliament, how shall things be for you? So that you don't feel threatened by anybody threatening you that you will go home. You will go home and continue living your life as you lived when you are a member of Parliament. Take care of yourselves, take care of your pension, contribute even to NSSF if you can contribute more. You can elect to contribute more, because that is what will take care of you when you are home and you are not working. Because inevitably, you are growing old. A time will come when you even choose to retire. You don't have to be to go home because somebody threatened you or somebody decided you are no longer useful. You could also choose to retire. And when you choose, it is what you contributed to your pension that will take care of you, Honorable Speaker, beyond your active life. With those many remarks, Honorable Speaker, I beg to support this bill, but to point out, for purposes of the media and those who propagate lies against this House, the Parliamentary Pension Scheme is a contributory pension scheme where members of Parliament contribute their money from their salaries. And like every other employee who is in a contributory pension scheme does, so do we. So nobody should start peddling rumors and propaganda out there that what you are doing is giving yourselves more money. There is not a single shilling from public coffers that is this bill, and Honorable Makali Mulu sits in the Budget and Appropriations Committee. He will tell you that this bill, when it was scrutinized for money bill effect, there is not a penny or a cent or a shilling of public coffers that will come from the public coffers to support this scheme. And indeed, that's why I support even the idea of having its administration in Parliament and not in the executive, so that we take care of ourselves in old age and beyond our life in active service to the nation. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I beg to support.
The Honorable Nikal.